Welcome back, True Seeker. Just want to say congrats to the winners. Again, before the game, I mentioned how Baltimore could get their 263rd franchise win tonight, going with the bridge collapse on the 26th day of the third month. And if you go back and watch my video about the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, in the video, I brought up November 7th, which is today, the day Baltimore played at home. And this was way before the NFL schedule came out. But in that video, I also talked about how the bridge collapse was synced with the Baltimore Ravens' previous season. And the reason I brought up November 7th is because 84 years ago today, November 7th, 1940, was the worst bridge collapse in U.S. history, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And I was pointing out how the bridge that collapsed in Baltimore was synced with the governor, who's from Tacoma Park, Maryland. So remember, the bridge collapsed on the 84th birthday of Nancy Pelosi, and her father, who was the mayor of Baltimore, died at age 84, and he had the same August 1st birthday as Francis Scott Key. And again, a few weeks after Baltimore's bridge collapsed, remember, the Golden Gate Bridge got shut down on Nancy Pelosi's husband's 84th birthday. That was because of the Palestinian protesters. And if you go back and watch my March 26th video, I said how the ritual on March 26th was pointing to the Golden Gate Bridge, and that's because it was 135 days after the Superior General's birthday, and Golden Gate equals 135. But anyway, in light of all the 84, tonight Lamar Jackson, the star quarterback of the Ravens, set a personal record with an 84-yard touchdown pass, his career best. And we love Lamar Jackson to win tonight. We call it 35 Thursday every week in the National Fixed League. Not only did the Ravens win with 35 points, Lamar Jackson got his 35th career home win as a starter. Thursday equals 35 in Gematria. It's 35 Thursday every week. And if you watched my live stream on Patreon, I said 34 was going to show up in this game. The Ravens love 34. Maryland equals 34. Both their Super Bowls they've won, they scored 34 points. Tonight they were facing Burrow, who equals 34. Burrow ended up having 34 completions and losing with 34 points. The head ref tonight was number 34, and this was the 139th game of the NFL season, which is the 34th prime. Plus, the headline that was out there while the game was starting was that Donald Trump picked his chief of staff, who is Pat Summerall's daughter, a former NFL player who was also the 45th pick of the draft the year the Dallas Texans were created. And that team became the Kansas City Chiefs in '63, the year that JFK got popped. But the woman that Trump picked tonight, Pat Summerall's daughter, Susie, she's from Maryland, where the football game was. And again, scripted sports, scripted politics, nonstop rituals together, scripted news, all connected. And people need to understand this, you guys. They took out that bridge and created a massive expense for the taxpayers. And that was a ritual. Just like this rigged election cost the taxpayers billions. And it was a ritual. We are getting scammed, you guys. These NFL games are a scam. Our government's a scam. And the same Jesuit Masonic Illuminati cabal controls it all. And here, just to run through the box score, the comical box score, Joe Burrow, 34 attempts for 34 points. Again, Burrow equals 34, Maryland 34. That's the 9th Fibonacci number. He wears 9. Look at the 56, or did I say attempts? He had 34 completions. He had 56 attempts, like he went to Super Bowl 56. That was in the Bengals' 54th season. Like today leaves 54 days left in the year. The first touchdown of the game was scored by Chase Brown, whose name equals 54. We had Jamar Chase to score 2 touchdowns tonight for the huge payout. He ended up scoring 3, actually. The reason we like 2 is because his first touchdown was the 40th of his career. The second was the 41st. TNF equals 40 and 41. Baltimore also equals 41, as does Key, as in the Key Bridge. And, of course, Nancy Pelosi's father was the 41st mayor of Baltimore. Can have the same birthday as Francis Scott Key. He ended up getting his 42nd career touchdown on a lesser date numerology of 42, just like Chase Brown rushed for 42 yards. But, yeah, Jamar Chase was the big payout for the double touchdown. And Lamar Jackson, we thought he might have a monster night tonight, and he did. We thought Derrick Henry'd probably get the touchdown because he scored in every game this year. His name equals 105 Gematria. This is the 105th NFL season. That's why we had him score the first touchdown of the season for a big payout in the first game of the year, where the Chiefs beat Baltimore on September 5th to become 9-5 versus Baltimore all time. In the AFC Championship, again, Baltimore fell to 5-8 versus the Chiefs. Baltimore also equals 58. Again, in the base ciphers, Baltimore equals 95, 58, 41, also 148. You might recall it was a 148-year-old law they had to go to decide who had to pay for the bridge. But again, in the AFC Championship, the Ravens fell to 5-8 versus the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes got his 41st road win as Andy Reid stayed on 58 losses and then went on to win Super Bowl 58. And then 58 days later, the bridge collapsed at 1:28 a.m. after that AFC Championship game was on 1:28. And again, bridge collapse equals 1:28, comes down at 1:28 a.m., 128 days from Francis Scott Key's birthday, also 128 days from Biden's birthday. I think the Biden collapse isn't too far off, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this Tylan Wallace, first career touchdown in his 47th career game. Maryland equals 34 forwards, 47 in reverse, like how they won Super Bowl 47 with John, which equals 47 in the Harbaugh Bowl. Just like how a few Monday nights ago it was a doubleheader. Both Harbaughs were playing on the 47th day of the season. John won and Jim didn't. Jim stayed on 47 regular season wins, and Todd Bowles stayed on 47 regular wins facing John. They couldn't have scripted it any better. But again, that Tylan Wallace touchdown, first touchdown of his career in his 47th game, and it was Lamar Jackson's longest NFL touchdown, 84 yards, to go with all the 84s on the bridge collapse. So you can see it right there. Tylan Wallace, 84 yards. Justin Tucker purposefully missed the extra point after the touchdown to put 41 points up on the board, like Baltimore's 41, like TNS 41, like Key is 41. Again, the Key Bridge came down in tribute to, on Nancy Pelosi's birthday, in tribute to her father, who was the 41st mayor. And Zach Taylor stayed on 41 career wins. Again, Zach Taylor's been a perfect indicator all season for wins and losses for Baltimore. If his record says the Bengals. He's the Bengals coach, Zach Taylor, named after the president. They've synced up plenty of rituals with him and the president over the years, as we've documented too. National Fix League, always paying tribute to history. But, Zach Taylor, the Bengals, their coach, has been a perfect indicator all year for wins and losses. Tonight said he would lose to stay on 41 career wins in the regular season. Baltimore 41, TNF 41, that's the acronym for Thursday Night Football. And stay on 46 all-time wins, including the playoffs, Thursday 46, as the Bengals fall to 4-6. And Joe Burrow also equals 46. And Joe Burrow, a lot like Joe Biden. Remember, the bridge just burned in Cincinnati. They became 4-5. Bridge equals 45 when you run it forwards. Bridge equals 117 when you run it in reverse, like this game on November 7th. 11-7, 117, Bridge 117. Ravens became 11-7 on Thursday Night Football all-time by winning tonight. But yeah, go back and watch my March 26 video if you haven't seen it. You'll see. I talked about all this stuff. I talked about the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapsed, the governor being from Tacoma Park, Westmore. It's hilarious. And again, you guys, it just goes to show our government is doing this to us, collapsing bridges, setting bridges on fire. I mean, it's insane. It's literally insane. Last year, when the bridge collapsed in Philly on June 11th, we used that bridge collapse to project that the Eagles would finish the year 11-6. And their last game was against the Giants, who upset them and improved to 6-11. Perfectly synced with the bridge that collapsed in Philly on June 11th, or the overpass, or whatever it was. But that was June 11th. Eagles finished the year 11-6. Giants beat them to be 6-11. This stuff goes on all the time. Atlanta loses the Super Bowl after they collapse with a 25-point lead on 2-5 when Falcons is 25. The year they moved the touchback to 25 yards in the 97th season, the 25th prime. And then right after they lose the Super Bowl in the National Fixed League, where National Football League equals 85, like Brady equals 85, right after that, I-85 burns down in Atlanta in close proximity to the football stadium, and they blame it on a crackhead. You guys, this stuff's been going on, and we've been here documenting it for a long time. And what I want to know is, why are my views so dog shit, and why is not the whole National Fixed League fan base learning about this? How doesn't everybody know about 35 Thursday? In a way, I'm glad they don't, because we continue to pat our pockets every Thursday. But really, the whole world should know about how fixed it all is. So again, congrats to the winners. I told you I'd be back later tonight with a congrats to the winners video. And we continue to dominate the world of fixed sports and fixed everything else. Call them the fixed news, the elections. Again, the other saying around here is Nostradamus who? Until next time, Truth Seeker.